We just made it to the Cotswolds, and I decided to make a vlog when I saw how beautiful this place was. This is like one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever been to in my life, and also one of the nicest hotels I think I've ever been to. So I couldn't resist bringing you guys along. I've always wanted to come here. The easiest way I know to describe it is if you've seen the movie The Holiday, it's where they filmed that. Super cute. We are taking a tour tomorrow, going to lunch, going to dinner. We're going to dinner tonight, so I'm gonna get changed. So I'm back in London. That was probably the worst birthday of all time. Started out as one of the best, but definitely finished dead last. Also, I got really short 12-inch clip-in extensions. If you've been following my hair journey, it's making me really happy. Please forgive me while I play with it for the rest of the video. Anyway, I was fully intending on doing a 2 days in the Cotswolds vlog, but seeing as that is not possible, and in the spirit of consistency, it is already Sunday, I decided I'd finish this, I don't even know if we can call it a vlog, but a video with a little Q&A. I've been posting a lot more recently, and I've been seeing new questions come up in my comments and DMs on all my different platforms, and I thought it'd be fun to answer some of them on here. The first one being, what the hell are you doing in London? I feel like I've already answered that a million times on here, but it was funny when I saw it because it came up like 2 days ago. I love when stuff like that happens because you're so hyper aware of like how you're perceived on social media, and you think people are paying such close attention. I've been posting about this since January when I moved here. It's now almost May, and this person just realized I'm here. It was just like a nice little reminder that nobody gives a fuck about you. Just post whatever you want, just do whatever you want. Where do you shop? I get this one a lot. And my answer is really anticlimactic. I pretty much only shop online. I'm a very specific person. For the most part, I'm only shopping or like buying new clothes or accessories if I have somewhere I need to be and I don't have the right fit for it. And usually I know in my head what I want it to look like, whether that be like inspiration from Pinterest or something I saw on Instagram or TikTok. Pretty much always have an idea. I will then type in the description in Google, scroll through what the options are, and then order like probably the cheapest option. I do shop a lot at Revolve. I know that's like a basic bitch thing these days, but they have really fast shipping. This is skincare. I did get asked to do a full skincare morning routine and night routine video, but I don't think it's very fair to do that right now because I'm on a journey, and my skin goes through phases. I have struggled with acne my entire life, and I will get control of it and then it will come back. And we're in a phase right now where it's coming back. So I'm working on it. Those of you who struggle with acne, like I know the struggle and it sucks. One day when I've got clear skin again, I will absolutely make that video, but not today. Do you have a project you're secretly working on? Maybe. That's all I'm gonna say right now, because I don't want to spoil the like magic of the inspiration I feel, because I've worked my ass off to get back to this place where I'm excited to create again. And I think I've finally figured out what I'm doing. And this question came on my Instagram stories, and for my like followers and fans of my music, they always know I'm been big on Easter eggs, so I'm gonna like hint at something, or I always know when I'm working on something, or they're always looking for it. So I'll just say, whoever asked me that this time, maybe you were right. More on that soon though, I promise. Why did you want to be a pop star in the first place? I posted something about not really being sure if I wanted to do it anymore, and someone asked me this in some type of colorful way, but it's actually something I'm unpacking right now in therapy. I have arrived at this place in life that I'm very fortunate to be at, very privileged to be at, where I can now create from a place of love and not out of desperation. I don't have to focus on the outcome. And so that has led me down this path of trying to figure out what I want to do that's just out of love, just because I want to do it. And I've been really stuck trying to figure out what that is, and I think that's really sad, but it is true. And through unpacking that, I kind of discovered almost everything I have ever done or have ever created has been for the outcome. And that outcome I wanted was to be successful. And I mean that in every single stereotypical way possible. That's what I've always wanted in my life. And even back when I like moved to LA to dance and switched career paths and decided I want to be a pop star, if I'm being totally honest with you and with myself, it was because I couldn't see myself achieving the type of success I wanted by being a backup dancer for the rest of my life. And of course there were other things, like I didn't really see, I fell out of love with it. I couldn't see how my creativity was going to be fully realized doing that either, but I wanted to achieve massive success in the entertainment industry, and I thought I can learn how to sing and I'll be a pop star. I did fall in love with so many parts of it, but the title no longer interests me. Why did you stop putting music out? I won't say I'm totally done with that part of it, but it wasn't by choice. That's all I really feel like saying. And I fully intended on picking it back up and doing it again. I was working on putting like a new team around me and finding new like collaborators, and it just didn't work out. The time and space I had away from it, I think, is what gave me this incredible gift of being able to ask myself, do I even want this anymore? How do you stay creative after failing? I think that was probably meant to be a hate comment, but it's very relevant. Sometimes you don't. Like for me, this kind of insufferable overachiever, I sometimes created for the outcome, like for the success. And if you don't get there, that's considered failing. And so then you just think, well, I'm a bad creator, I shouldn't create anymore. And then other times you just keep going because you've got a job to do. But for me, and I didn't realize this until I got older, 10 times out of 10 in my life, when things are not going well, or I'm super irritable, or there's a lot of like friction around me, it's because I'm not focusing my energy and attention into a creative project. I know I have to do that for like harmony in my life. For me, it's not a want, it's absolutely a necessity. I have to create, I always will create, no matter what shape and form it takes moving forward for the rest of my life. I'm always going to be creating. Do you miss Nashville? Yes and no. Nashville was never supposed to be a forever home for me. I always knew it wasn't going to be, but it made the most sense for where I was at when I moved there. And I'm not gonna shit on it because I achieved more, there's that word again. I made more progress there in the 5 years I was there than I ever did over the entire 15 years I've been chasing this dream. And I've lived a lot of places, and there's a camaraderie in Nashville amongst creatives that you just can't get in other entertainment-based cities. they can be very cutthroat and selfish in me first, but Nashville, in my experience, was not that way. I also was not in the country music space, which I hear is way more cutthroat. I was in the pop music space, so I can only speak from my experience, but I don't miss the town. I don't miss being landlocked. I don't know, I miss my friends. But I've always been really good at, for better or for worse, creating a new home wherever I am. So I'm just really happy in London right now, and we'll see what happens after that. Do you ever consider just totally switching career paths and doing something entirely new? Yes. This was asked to me by my therapist. I think about this probably once a week, subconsciously. I daydream about it. I don't think about it as often as I think about how much untapped potential in art and entertainment is still inside me that I still want to act on. So I'm not going to switch career paths. Maybe one day, never say never, but I don't know what I would do. I thought about being a detective for a minute. That's only because I like whodunit shows. Because if I really had to go bust somebody, I'd be like, no. Oh, I'm scared, someone else do it. Okay, last question. One piece of advice for someone just starting out. This is actually a frequently asked question. I get this all the time. Starting out as a creator. I never know how to answer it either. Probably shouldn't have put that on here. But I don't really do advice. I sometimes think the wrong advice can lead someone down the wrong path, or it can discourage someone. Everyone's path is so unique. What applied to me or what I learned may not apply to you. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I guess an example is I found my entire audience by being relentless in promoting my music. And I mean borderline desperate, actually shoving it in people's faces and being like, listen to this. Because I tried everything else. At this point, I was out of options. That's where I was at in my life. I was I can't just sit back anymore and wait for people to find it. I need to go make sure people hear it. And it worked for me. And I just, in this phase of growing and growing and growing and growing, while I was doing this, I remember I came across a TikTok of this artist that I love and listen to every word she says, but she's so different than me. And she's really, really cool. And I'm not. And especially what I was doing at that time was the total opposite of cool, but it was working for me. And she said, make good shit, put it out. Don't ever force anyone to listen to it. The right people will always find it. And that crushed me. It made me so insecure. I was like, oh my God, the whole world is laughing at me right now. And it's not true. I mean, the cool audience probably was laughing at me, but that wasn't my audience and that wasn't my journey. And I'm not that type of artist, but it did affect me. And I stopped. I picked it back up again, whatever, but that's kind of why I would never wanna give advice to anyone, because your story is gonna be so different than mine. So I guess if I had to give you any advice, it would be to not listen to anyone but your fucking self. Do whatever the fuck you want.